What the Ukrainians defeated the Great Black Sea Fleet without a traditional navy of their own, and they ran the Black Sea Fleet out of the Black Sea.
We're quickly, and I think now to Ukraine, and I see a sea change taking place. We're quickly reaching a point where robotics and AI are being fused, and the costs of both of them are falling very quickly. One of the traditional barriers to military conflict in the West has really been our inability to absorb significant personnel loss. I think you see the difference between that and what's happening in Russia today. Um, does I think what we're seeing now is the beginning of the non-manned military. And my question to you about that, because I'm seeing that in Ukraine as we speak, does the non-manned military mean lesser restraints on the use of force insofar as the boots on the ground are not with heartbeat?
So let me touch on the setup of your very good question, willingness to accept casualties. And my sense is that certainly Americans are willing to accept casualties if they believe it's for a worthy cause, if they understand why. Um, where they're not is when it's not clear, like why the hell are we in Iraq, or why are we in Afghanistan? What's this about? Then people, their patience with casualties correctly uh, goes decreases.
It's a very
And
fair point.
that's why it's so important that our leaders explain what's at stake, why we have to do this. And then most people say, hell yeah, let's do this. Um, Clearly, we're seeing a significant increase in the use of drones, unmanned aerial systems, but also what's most interesting to me is the unmanned maritime systems that our navies, what the Ukrainians defeated the Great Black Sea Fleet without a traditional navy of their own. They did it using drones, uh, cruise missiles, sabotage, special operations, and they ran the Black Sea Fleet out of the Black Sea, literally. So that's, I think, Navy experts, I know the Canadian Navy is the same, are taking a look at, okay, are there applications for unmanned maritime systems on Canada's, not only the Arctic, but also on your Pacific and Atlantic coastlines? Now, obviously, what works inside the Black Sea might not be relevant in the North Atlantic, but this is worth looking at because, first of all, the cost of a modern warship is stupendous. And then to put 140 or 180 or whatever size ship it is, crew members on it, this is real significant investment with overhead and maintenance and so on. Whereas if you've got unmanned maritime systems that can act independently or maybe tethered to an actual crewed ship, it extends the capabilities for anti-submarine warfare, for counter-mine operations, for other intelligence collection for maritime forces. This is the U.S. Navy is putting a lot of money into this, and I suspect the Canadian Navy is as well. On the drones, certainly this has changed the character of war. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's very difficult to sneak up on anybody anymore when you've got constant overhead coverage. But as has happened for the last 5,000 years of recorded history and warfare, uh, there's always eventually something that comes up to counter it.
Right.
And I think we're going to see, probably we're already seeing the beginnings of it, a wide range of capabilities that are developed that can defeat or at least neutralize or degrade drones from the other side. Now, some of this is rudimentary stuff, shooting them down. I watched a video of a Rheinmetall vehicle the other day that shot down 5 different Shahed drones. It's just got a very good radar system and a gun that's able to do that. So that's kinetic. And then, of course, if these are not autonomous drones, you can sometimes break the signal, and you get them that way. But I think as artificial intelligence becomes more and more developed and useful, you can imagine that one side will deploy a large swarm of their own drones to counter the swarm that's coming in.
Right.
You know,
Well,
when I saw that movie, I think Olympus Has Fallen or the one where Morgan Freeman is the president, and his whole detail gets wiped out by drones,
Right.
except for one guy. I was like, oh, come on, that's never going to happen. That's exactly what's happening now. And so I think we need to assume that there will be a counter to drones in the very near future.